Up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Scott again here in New Jersey. About to get started in about 13 minutes with a huge game coming at you between West Brom and Liverpool. Liverpool on the hunt, 3 games to go, as the title suggests. We need 3 wins out of 3 against not the greatest opposition. But let's not jinx it. So first up today is West Brom, and West Brom is already down. They will be playing in the championship next season, and Liverpool are fiercely fighting for the top 4 positions, granting them access to the Champions League for next season. We have a lineup that I'm happy about. For Liverpool, we've got Alisson in goal, Robbo, Nat Phillips, Reece, who have been great recently, even though obviously stand-ins. And then you've got Trent, who's been in some pretty great form recently. Then in the middle, you've got Fabinho, Thiago, and Curtis Jones, which I'm happy about. Curtis Jones, I think, is coming back from an injury. He hasn't been featuring too much of late. And then you've got the front three, the famous front three of Sadio, Bobby, and Mo, which I'm also happy to report. Not playing favorites, nothing against Jota. He did score 1 goal and hit the post against United in a pretty good performance. But definitely just happy to see Sadio back in the lineup, purely basically to put the would-be controversy to bed of him not dapping up Jurgen at the end of last game. Not sure what that was about, but I'm not losing sleep over it. If Jurgen says it's fine, it's fine. Wasn't great, but I think it was just a situation with Sadio that he was frustrated with himself. Of course, you don't want to see him showing up the manager, but it is what it is. It's life. He was upset about something. And anyway, enough said about that. But we are about to be underway, as I said, in about 10 minutes. So please do let me know where you're tuning in from. Again, my name is Scott. I live in New Jersey. It is a beautiful day here. And please do follow me at all of these locations: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, whatever your pleasure. Follow me on all of them. That would be great. I come to you mostly in this format as on YouTube and Twitch, in a video format, as far as hosting watchalongs to Liverpool games, as well as some other games. I've done Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal versus City, and I, of course, will cover some play-by-play type of thing, but that's not really the main intention. The main intention is to kind of foster a discussion, have some live discussion, live reaction. I'd like to think it's pretty entertaining to watch me watch my beloved Reds and the ups and downs, frustrations and jubilations of watching Liverpool, and especially this season. It's definitely been up and down. So yeah, it'll be definitely an interesting final run for Liverpool, as we need, ironically, the one thing that we have not been able to put together all season, which is consistency. So we can win these final 3 games against West Brom today, away to Burnley on Wednesday, and at home to Palace on Sunday. Sunday is the final day of the season. I might possibly have some guests on Sunday to co-host with me. Don't hold your breath on that, but I will be having a a gathering with some buddies the night before, so some soccer fans in there, and let's see if I can coax them into maybe hosting a final day of the season watch along. But yeah, again, I urge you to introduce yourself. Let me know who you are and who you support, where you're tuning in from, and love to chat with you, and throw any topics out there that you are intrigued to discuss or explore. Showing Mo Salah warming up just now. 21 goals, 4 assists, and 34 Premier League apps this season. I believe coming into today he was level with Harry Kane for the Golden Boot race, which I would love for him to pick that up this season. I don't think Harry Kane has actually ever outscored Mo since he has arrived to the Premier League. So that would be a nice record to keep up. And I would just like to for Mo to get that bit of personal silverware. Of course, that's not generally what it's all about. I mean, you generally care about winning Premier League trophies or Champions League trophies, but in a season where we've really struggled, it would really be nice to crown that performance, which Mo has been, I was going to say, consistent throughout this season. I don't know if he's been, I mean, it's just unbelievable the high standard that he has set. So, basically since he's come in, he's really hasn't had many dips of form at all. So really, just to say that, has he been at his best? Well, he's been at his best pretty much for the first 3 seasons that he's been with us. So, yeah, but suffice to say, it's really amazing that he's put those numbers up. Not that, soccer, it almost sounds like a basketball statistic with, points per game or whatever, but to put 21 goals into the back of the net in a season that isn't really even at your best, or really hasn't had that level of support that he typically has had from midfield and from, really just the rest of the team. Trent and Robbo having an up and down season, and just so many different injuries, and yet Mo's still been banging them in. So it would be nice. I think it would be good for all parties for Mo to bang in 2 or even 3 goals today to get himself back in the lead for the Golden Boot race. But we shall see. No pressure. All we need is a win here for the Mighty Reds. In the meantime, I can rattle you off West Brom's lineup for those of you that care. You've got Sam Johnston, who I think has had quite a good season. I've heard his name in good context throughout the season, made some big saves I've seen myself. And then you've got, they're playing a 4-4-1-1, Furlong, Ajayi, Bartley, Townsend, Diangana, Yokuslu, never heard of him before, Gallagher, Matthew Phillips, Mateus Pereira, and Hal Robson-Kanu, the rare forward rocking the number 4 jersey. So, again, definitely a beatable team. Out of the remaining 3 games, this is probably the match that I fear the least. Again, knock on wood, I have had a couple jinxing moments on the live streams, but I'm not going to pay any attention to that. I'm not a superstitious person, so. But yeah, I would fear West Brom the least. I feel like everybody, like, doesn't matter what team you are across the Premier League, fears Burnley, just because it's a team that you should be beating. But they can be tricky. I mean, it almost doesn't even matter what form you're in. That's typically when they come up with the biggest surprise is when you expect it least when they're in like terrible form, and then you're like, oh, we're gonna beat these guys. But credit to Sean Dyche. I mean, not too much credit because I don't really like supporting or celebrating negative football. But the reason I say credit to him is because when they do come up with these rainy day spoilers, it generally is because they deserve it. They're set up well, and they can really ruin basically any team's day. And then you have Crystal Palace, who on the back of this season, I don't really fear them too much. They did just come back and beat Villa today. I think they took the lead and then they gave it back, and then they ended up winning it again, so showing some resilience there. And Liverpool have had history with Crystal Palace ruining our day as well. So we shall see. That should be an interesting final day of the season situation. But yeah, I mean, one game at a time. But I think the way that West Brom will set themselves up, and as much as I just spoke about Sean Dyche being able to ruin people's day, Sam Allardyce has also had history in doing so as well. But yeah, I think with West Brom not having anything to play for, I do think that they'll put out a prideful performance, but I think that we really should be too good for them, and our motivations will be greater than West Brom's, and they'll sit back. And I think Liverpool have enough momentum. Again, I know that our problem has been consistency this season, but I do think that we do have enough momentum that hopefully a team that's going to park the bus is not going to be able to withstand 90 minutes of Liverpool attack, but we shall see. But again, that even goes back to the lineup selection by Mr. Klopp, which you're playing Fabinho, Curtis, and Thiago. And here we go. We're back from commercial, and we are about to kick off. So I'm going to grab my mouse here and get the clock going here. Everyone's on their knee. And let's see. Hopefully I'm okay. They haven't put the scoreboard up yet. Yeah, all right. Good enough. Alrighty. So yeah, we had kicked off here. West Brom started with the ball, and let's see. Nat Phillips was his first interception in the game, falls to Curtis Jones. A little bit of a fired ball to him, so he cannot settle it, and West Brom back in possession. How's that? Not perfect. There we go. we got 6 of yous watching along today. Please introduce yourself. Chat to me. Let me know where you're watching on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Give me a holler. Bravo, back to Reese Williams. And Allison back to Reese. Reese to Fabinho. I'd like to see a cleaner performance from Fabinho today. Not ragging on him. He is the best defensive midfielder in the world. Even one of the best center backs in the world, I would say, based on this season. Robbo plays a fizzing ball in. Kind of just fell to him somewhat luckily. And Thiago has a crack at it from the top of the D, and that probably would have caused some trouble for the goalkeeper had it gone through, but it is out for a Liverpool corner. Strong start from the Reds. West Brom not the most tidy at the back. Sam Gallagher losing the ball at the top of the D to squirm free to Thiago, who fizzes one in. Trent puts his hand up and crosses. It is a tame one to the near post, about waist height, and West Brom clear it. Luckily for Liverpool, out for another corner, so we get a do-over there. This game brought to you by White Claw. Better ball in, still near post, but a higher height from Trent. And he plays another one in, and Nat gets on the end of it, and he goes down. A little bit worrisome. I think his head might have collided, and Mike Dean races over to, of course, check on a would-be head injury, but Big Nat is made of steel, and he's up and back in position. It does look like his, what might be early signs of bruising right in and around his eyes. His face was very red. I don't know if that was from direct contact or from him falling in a heap on the ground. But a couple chances for Liverpool here early, so that is definitely good to see. Trent barely heads it back with enough on it to Allison. Johnston in possession, fires it upfield. Reese Williams wins the header off of Matthew Phillips. Liverpool in possession. There's a lot of long balls happening and a lot of turnover in possession due to those long balls. So the ball is sort of pinballing around a bit. Curtis Jones wins it and also wins a free kick just outside of his own area as he tries to dribble clear, but draws the foul. Again, good to see Curtis back on the pitch and starting. It will be interesting. Bobby plays a floated ball over the top for Mo, and Bartley definitely has like a good foot of height on Salah and was able to kind of just body him off the ball, but Mo was still hot on his tail, so Bartley just plays it out for another Liverpool corner. Third corner of the game, third corner from the right-hand side, and Trent will be playing this one in. Oh no, it's Robbo actually. And he plays it into Nat Phillips, who wins another one. He kind of just ghosted right into the near post. It really looks like they're trying to find this near post slot. I don't know if that's something that they found studying tape or whatever, but all three of Liverpool's corners have been to the near post, and Nat wins the header, but a bit unlucky. He kind of was like and he seems to be bleeding from his lip. But the game goes on. Yeah, Nat kind of just glided into position. He kind of like shrunk his body to get his head in the right spot, but he was just a second, probably too late, and the ball kind of just skid off his head. But it was one of those when you were watching it. If you're a supporter of the defending team, you're really fearing that it's good contact that's going in the back of the net. So a couple early chances for Liverpool. Good to see. What I was going to say, and here's Trent coming down the right-hand side, keeps it in. He's running at full tilt, and the West Brom left back, or whoever's in that left back position, intercepts, and now the ball's out for a throw in your midfield on the right side. Interesting, the messaging covering the stands here at the Hawthorns. On the right-hand side, the end that Liverpool are defending right now, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd," which I can only believe is an actual reference to the Bible verse. And I'm not aware or never heard of any religious connection for West Brom, nor really any club for that matter. So that is interesting. Maybe I'll have to look into that, see what's behind that. Here's Mo on the right-hand side, tries to play a cross in, not really near enough any of his Liverpool teammates, and Johnson comes out to collect. But yeah, back on the Curtis Jones front, I have been a very big fan of his, especially this season. I say this season because before this season, I think really you could only really be hopeful of a player of that age, academy product. But yeah, he's really come in and shown really promising signs, and not even promising signs. I mean, he is a bona fide Liverpool starter or starter quality. And he has shown that, and that he's been able to be trusted really at any level. He started Champions League games, and with a season that, once again, so many injuries, he really has had the opportunity. And I can't think of more than one or two games where he underperformed or just didn't seem up to it. So I think that's really, really promising. And we shall see. I mean, I think, again, it'll be heavily dependent on what kind of moves are made in terms of the transfer market. Oh, bad touch. And how much he will play next season. I think that, I'm confident in saying that he'll play as much, if not more, next season than this season. I think everybody is really starting to get excited about a midfield starting trio of Hendo, Fabinho, and Thiago. I've seen a lot of people throwing out there that Thiago and Fabinho have started the last 6 games together, and we've won 5 of them, which is a really promising sign. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but more just a devil's advocate. I tend to be a little hesitant to buy into things like that, because you're just naming 2 players and then Liverpool winning 5 games. That doesn't tell nearly a full story. It doesn't tell you who you played. It doesn't tell you, was Alisson out injured and then he's come back, and maybe Alisson coming back is the real reason for that. It just happens to coincide. Ooh, West Brom almost get a leading goal but it is pulled back for offside. West Brom, they've had 2 free kicks now where they've intentionally started with players offside, doing that sort of decoy thing, but then so the player, makes no attempt of being onside. He's 3 yards off, and then the ball gets played in, and then they kind of just hang back to get like a flick back. I'm not really sure what the law is on that. Of course, passive offsides, and if you're not part of the play, but I have to think that that's offside. I mean, you're not really tricking anybody here by starting offside, and then that first passage of it's not a different passage of play. So I'm not really sure why they're doing that. If you're going to do a decoy offside thing, then I would kind of think that player just has to sit that entire passage of play out. But in any case, interesting. So yeah, I was speaking on the Fabinho and Thiago partnership. Hendo is going to be a huge addition back to the squad once he's back from injury next season. Both his on-field performance as well as his leadership, which I suppose also occurs on field, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm interested, intrigued to see the Fabinho and Thiago. Really, Fabinho and Henderson are nailed on. We know what they are. They're Liverpool greats, Liverpool legends, whatever you want to call them already. But really, oh boy, Bravo with a bit of an oops, tries to swing the ball across the back line around midfield, and he passes it directly to a West Brom player. And sort of one of those, West Brom wins the ball in a position they don't typically expect to find themselves in. And so the camera doesn't really show you what's going on in Liverpool's back line, and you don't know if it's going to be a breakaway or if we have a good few players back. But in any case, the ball's with Allison, who punts it forward. Again, Liverpool really, more so than usual, I would say, looking for that outlet ball over the top. Again, just theorizing on the fly that, oh, you've got to be kidding me. What a beautiful... I myself am one of these players that anytime that was a beautiful tackle, and it's been penalized, but the West Brom player is coming this way and then does a cut across his body, beating Thiago, and then Thiago does the behind the back tackle, and he catches the ball, he wins the ball, and then the player goes over him, and Mike Dean awards a foul, which not only disappointing that it's a wrong call, but discouraging the beautiful, dare I say, sexy behind the back tackle. Oh, and West Brom are through here, and they have taken the lead through Robson Kanu. Of course he scores because I was making fun of his kit number before the game. Jurgen is very, very disappointed in that. Something fundamental has gone wrong there, and he is speaking like an Italian. I changed the score here. Let's see. Nothing offside, not even close. And it is West Brom 1, Liverpool 0. I had some friends asking me, amazingly, that Liverpool have really gotten ourselves back into rulers of our own destiny in terms of winning, as again the title of the video suggests, winning our final 3 and we're in. Sort of amazing that we've crawled ourselves back into that situation. And so anyway, some of my friends were asking me, on Tuesday, what would have been such a really just crucial for them between Chelsea and Leicester. Of course, yesterday, Leicester beat Chelsea 1-0 in the FA Cup final. Did not watch because I don't care about the FA Cup, but cheers to Leicester. Well done. But in any case, it really doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's almost like asking, who do I prefer to be in the Champions League next season, Chelsea or Leicester? I mean, from a Liverpool perspective, it doesn't really matter what happens in that game, because if we take care of business and, win our final 4 or 3, then we're in. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think I have been predicting that Leicester / Brendan Rodgers always does fall off towards the end of the season. And I am a Rodgers fan, or I don't know if I can, with what I'm about to say, if I can call myself a Rodgers fan, but I think he's a great manager, but it always just falls off with him, and he just can't get over the finish line. But again, credit to him. It's not like Leicester's in any sort of like perilous position. It's not like I don't even know who falls into this category this season, but like a Brighton, like somebody that starts strong and they get all the plot. Or Southampton is probably a really good example that, we like Hasenhüttl, but, they kind of were getting dragged into a relegation fight towards the end of the season, having such terrible, terrible form. I mean, Rodgers does all of his hard work up front, and they flirt with, winning the title or top 4 or whatever the case may be. And then they just always sort of fall off. So I just think it would be amusing if Leicester fell off. But anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Yeah, I reiterate, as a Liverpool perspective, it doesn't matter. My first and only priority is that we get into the Champions League. It's attainable, so let's go do it. And that's pretty much it. If we don't win our final 3 games of the rest of the season, it doesn't matter. We could get help and still squeak in, but at that point we don't deserve it. And some people might even argue that Liverpool, don't deserve it and, would be squeaking in by winning our final 4 games of the season as it is. I think you have to hand it to us. The table doesn't lie. Everybody finishes in the position that they deserve to finish in. Outside of a crazy scenario, such as like Aston Villa, Sheffield last season with the VAR situation. So again, Villa maybe should be in the Championship right now, but anyway, Liverpool just need to take care of business, and that's that. You've got Curtis on the top corner of the box trying to dance around and find himself a shot. And Trent fires one in. Fabinho is incensed because he's grappling with his West Brom counterpart, and there was some grappling going on. I didn't see it close up enough to see who was fouling whom, or if there even was a foul. It did sort of look like he was tugging on a shirt, but with the way he reacted, he probably felt that he was fouled or the player wasn't going for the ball. Either way, Mike Dean blows up, and it is a West Brom free kick that Johnston plays long, and Reece Williams wins. Oh boy, Reece is down. He kind of volleyed. He was grappling with his player and then just volleyed the ball and went right towards the center of the pitch, which can be a dangerous situation, but it did fall to Allison, who was able to comfortably collect, but then Reece was down in a heap, looking to be in some pain. He's up just on the ball now, plays it over to Matt Phillips. So hopefully Reece is okay. I don't even know. I didn't check the subs bench for who our options would be. We've got Billy Cometio on the bench, and no Ben Davies, as I'm sure that LFC Twitter will be quick to point out. Kabak is still injured, so I would think that if we had to make a change at center back, that we would probably have Fabinho go back to center back unless Klopp is ready to put Billy Cometio in, the 6'4" lad at the back, the Frenchman. How old is he? He's 6'5" actually. He's 18 years old. He was born on the greatest day of the year, November 14th. And so that would be interesting. I don't think that has he had a senior cap? I remember very early in the season him deputizing in the senior team, but that might have even been a friendly. But yeah, just interesting. You never know with academy players. A little bit of bad luck for Liverpool as Thiago tries to play Firmino in, and it's just a little bit too much pace on the ball, and it goes out for a West Brom goal kick. No time to panic. I mean, I think you still want some urgency, certainly for sure. I mean, it's funny. What I would want to see from Liverpool, the difference between this season and last season. Last season, I would say it's cool. You know, it's fine. Just keep your mentality, keep your composure. It'll come. You know, we're good enough to continue to control this game, and the chances will come, and we'll put it. Finish our chances, sort of thing. Whereas this year, having such a lack of consistency. The way I would phrase it is I would still want to see urgency. Now, we don't need to be, throwing everybody forward. It's not the end. It's not even the second half yet. But you still want to see some urgency because you don't want to rest on your laurels and say, oh, it'll come, because, finishing has been a problem this season. You really don't want West Brom to feel comfortable and embolden themselves and be able to sit back and absorb the pressure. So I think you still want to see that Curtis Jones attitude with him on the ball, and that front foot Thiago trying to make stuff happen. Here is Thiago on the ball. He plays to Trent, and Fabinho plays Thiago through. Thiago back to Mane, and Mane pulls it wide at the near post. The ball was coming from the right-hand side, and the goal was to Mane's left. He plays it back and just misses that near post. I would have liked to see, especially with the ball coming this way, go across his body towards the far post where Johnson would have had trouble getting over to that side. And really, it wasn't a situation, according to my memory, that Mane really had anybody in front of him. I think there was some light marking happening, but there wasn't really any front-facing blockage happening as far as and the long ball played up for, I believe, Mo, and the bouncing ball a little bit too long, but it forces Sam Johnson to come out of his box and head it clear. Thiago, about 35 yards from goal, right side of the pitch, plays it to Curtis. And Liverpool have lost possession, and there is Curtis, well done, tracking back as West Brom try to counter and play a through ball. Curtis intercepts, and Liverpool back in possession. Thiago plays a beautifully sprayed ball out to Bravo, who chests down, plays to Curtis, to Thiago, who kind of loses possession of the ball, but it falls to Fabinho. Mane has to get fouled. Either Mane or Firmino. I think both of them were fouled pretty much in the same position as the area gets crowded out a bit, right on the left side of the D. So this certainly is Trent territory, has to be. And we're 26 minutes into the match. To get a leveler at this point would really put some wind behind Liverpool's sails. Trent over the ball. 5 men in the wall. Trent? Oh, and it clips the top of the wall, and it'll be back for Liverpool. I want to say Liverpool's 5th corner of the match, this time from the left-hand side. Trent has 2 hands in the air, whatever that means. Trent whips it in, back post. Nat Phillips has to go get it, and he plays it back into a very dangerous area towards the top of the 6. Unfortunately, Reese Williams can't make connection on the volley. West Brom trying to counter, but instead they play a beautiful cross field ball to Trent, who plays another beautiful diagonal into Salah, who does a nice job bringing it down, but Salah sometimes just gets those dainty feet moving and can't get a powerful. Yeah, he kind of takes that. It was a beautiful trap by Mo, but it's still, he moved a little bit too quick for the ball that he kind of just killed with the spin, and then the ball ended up being a little bit behind him, hence the lack of power in the shot. All right. All right, Trent on the ball, plays it middle towards Thiago. Trent to Thiago. To Curtis. Curtis up to Mo, and Mo wins a throw-in to Liverpool. Bobby Firmino to Thiago, out left to Robbo, to Curtis. Thiago into Trent, actually. And Trent, he cuts in on his left foot and takes a thwack at it, but it goes over. little bit of a lashing at it. Got under the ball too much. Nat Phillips over to Trent. Trent inside to Fabinho, who my challenge to Fabinho has been. Oh, and Fabinho just got obstructed by Mike Dean, of all people. And I've never actually seen that called. I've seen, obviously, the rule has changed if the ball hits the referees. Oh, and Mo Salah with a beautiful finish. Falls right to him on the top right of the D, and all he needs is one touch. I just turned the light out. He side foots it right, inch perfect. No keeper in the world is saving that. Side foots it in off the far post, and Sam Johnson diving has no chance. Fabinho takes the ball, as I was saying, foul by Mike Dean, of all people, puts it down, takes it quickly. Sadio plays it to Bobby. Bobby has a little bit of a mistouch. Oh, beautiful. West Brom win the possession, lose the possession, and it falls right to Mane. Little toe poke to Mo, and he just side foots it first time. That's an instinctive finish. Beautiful. 1-1. Up the Reds. Whew. Just what we needed. Just what we needed. There we go. All fixed. Just what we need. This is, I actually thought it was further along in the match here. I thought it was about the 40th minute. Even better. I was gonna say the just before halftime is my new favorite time to score. A little reference to the Firmino off the post. Oh, and the ball falls to Mane, and I think there's going to be a foul given for a dangerous boot. Mo passes it to Trent, to Mane right at the top of the D. He tries a back flick to Trent, who is finding some space. It gets blocked, falls right to Firmino in the best possible position, right at the top of the box with really nobody in front of him. And he takes not at all a bad finish, hits the top left of the post, was almost right there, upper 90. But West Brom kind of luck out there, but you'd love to see this from Liverpool. Really on the front foot, kind of how we should be against a team like West Brom. But oh boy, West Brom are through here on a goal, and it's Hal Robson-Kanu again. That was a really dicey / ugly. Oh boy, Nat Phillips just whiffed on a header, and it just goes right over him. You really can't miss headers like that because with that sort of trajectory, the ball just ends up going right through on goal. And Robson-Kanu, credit to him. I mean, West Brom really have not created much. There was one play off of a free kick, but Robson-Kanu, obviously not Didier Drogba, and doesn't really have that sort of presence and intimidation factor, but he has been able to find himself on the end of some opportunistic chances. And there was a corner by West Brom, and Alisson punches clear off of his line at the near post. If he didn't deal with that, that would have went in for what they call the Olympico, scoring straight from the corner. Lively match here, folks. Lively match. Oh wait, where's my? Let me get the chat back up here. So Reese Williams and Nat Phillips, solid 8 out of 10 performance so far, which I will take. Again, as deputizing center backs. Reese Williams tries to play a diagonal through ball, pretty flat to the corner flag, and Mo almost got there, but it is out for a goal kick. My buddy Lee telling me, Bobby just there, case number 127, why we need an actual striker. Inexcusable miss. I would have scored that, meaning Scott. You would have scored that. I disagree. That's a striker's finish. He had 1 second. Ball was like even, I don't know, maybe now I'm making excuses for him, but I was going to say even a little bit behind him. But you've been there. I understand what Lee's saying. You got to finish those chances, those gifts being given to you. But that was really a flash of a chance where the ball falls to you, and then you need to pick your head up, go across your body, top corner. I mean, getting the ball from the top of the box on the right-hand side over to the top left, beat the keeper, beat the player, and you don't even have like a chance to necessarily set yourself in an absolutely perfect way. I'm not saying, Bobby didn't have, he didn't have 0.3 seconds, but I don't fault him at all. I think Lewandowski can miss something like that. I think Holland can miss something like that, and Aguero the same. It was a good clean strike. He didn't slice it. He hit it exactly how he wanted to, and he just got unlucky. $39. Curtis Jones in the left back position. So yeah, I was saying 8 out of 10 performance so far from Reese and Nat. I think they have a mistake each on their blackboard today, which is fine. Could have been a little bit cleaner, but yeah, so far I'm happy with them. Thiago to Fabinho at the top right of the box and lines up for a strike, but it gets blocked. Fabinho back on the ball to Mo, to Fabinho again with a bit of a tame effort. He plays it over to the right-hand side, and it is collected by Sam Johnston. Oh, sorry. All right. There we go. Thiago over to Sadio! Oh, Sadio had a curling effort. I think that would have been wide, but it gets headed over for safety's sake. Yeah, I was going wide. Headed over by Bartley, and another Liverpool corner. And it is Trent. And who but Nat Phillips and also Sadio Mane were in the area, but West Brom were able to head it somewhat clear. Ball comes back, way back to midfield. Fabinho, Liverpool reloading a bit. Thiago pings it over on the ground to Robbo, Sadio to Firmino. I think you got to appreciate the movement and the passing of Liverpool today. It hasn't been totally top notch, but I think it's been 9.5 out of 10. I think in a mentally a little bit slower of a day, it would be. There's Trent, very angry on the right hand side. I think a foul's been given against them or something. But anyway, I was saying that in a less sharp mental day for Liverpool, I think you really would see West Brom stifling us a whole lot more. That's just magic from Mo. That's a replay of the goal. They're showing the foul by Mike Dean over and over again. He did get in Fabinho's way. I think some rival fans or people that want to make controversy out of it make it look like Fabinho really just, if you put it in slow-mo, put his arm against Mike Dean to sort of break his collision per se, but he, got in the way of Fabinho's normal movement and caused Fabinho to lose possession. So I think completely justified for Mike Dean to call a foul on himself. But yeah, that's the first I think I've ever seen Fabinho giving away a foul. West Brom really seemed to be going down. Oh boy! Oh my goodness! There is a lot of blood coming from Matt Phillips's eyebrow here. Not sure where that collision happened, but Liverpool, a lot of Liverpool players being very frustrated with some fouls being given. And this was one of them. Yeah, number 35, kind of skipping past Fabinho. Fabinho gets a leg in, probably catches some of the player, maybe some of the ball. Excuse me, that was Bartley with the bloody eyebrow from an aerial challenge, not Matt Phillips. And they have kind of the same haircut, so forgive the mistake. We have passed the 45-minute mark. We shall see how much stoppage is being added. I would reckon maybe two minutes, probably. It is 3 minutes. And West Brom will have a free kick just outside the Liverpool area as Bartley's still getting medical treatment for that collision. Got 8 in the watch counter. Let me know who you are and where you're tuning in from. Drop us a comment, live chat. So yeah, could be sitting a little prettier if you're Liverpool, given the amount of possession and half to 3/4 chances that we have had. But, I don't think any Liverpool Lee thinks that, I think Lee thinks that it should be 3-0 at this point. He was miffed at the Sadio Mane chance that he just pulled wide of the near post, and then also the Firmino chance off the post. But, I think in both cases they should have done better, but neither embarrassingly so. So, we are where we are. We're level, and we've got 45 minutes still to play. Hopefully nothing with this chance. We've got Pereira over it, left-footed strike, and it's over and wide of the bar. There was Firmino with a bit of space on the right-hand side, and he tries a very telegraphed through ball into Salah, and it is easily dealt with / intercepted by West Brom. And so, again, I think what you want to see from Liverpool is just more of the same, more clinical, possibly more direct as the game goes further along. In terms of sub options, I at some point would maybe love to see Ox. I view Ox and Curtis as two very direct, maybe, B versions of Steven Gerrard or something like that. My goodness, terrible decision by Mike Dean. Sadio Mane is going shoulder to shoulder with Gallagher, and Gallagher is coming on strong a little bit late, and Mane goes to just shoulder him. Gallagher goes down. It's Mane's ball, and Klopp is also just as worked up as I am here. Terrible decision. 35 yards from West Brom's goal, and Mane was protecting what was already his ball, and Mike Dean makes a terrible decision to give the ball West Brom's way. Terrible decision. We're 4 minutes past here. Mane goes to clear it, and it's down the right-hand side of the field. Hopefully nothing silly happens here for West Brom. No penalties, no deflected goals. Nat Phillips is out on the left-hand side, and West Brom are going to try and serve this one in. Gallagher does, and Allison bats it away. And I think a foul's been called on Allison. I'm not really sure what's happening. And Allison puts the ball down. We're 5 minutes past. I think it's time to go in for halftime here. And let's see. Reece Williams plays it to Thiago. Thiago out to Robbo. Again, not sure at all why. Okay, there it is. All right, everyone. I'm going to take a short halftime break, and I will catch you back here in 15 minutes for the start of the second half. We shall see. I don't expect any halftime substitutions, but we can discuss some options that Jurgen has to mix things up should it remain level or even worse, if West Brom should take the lead once again. But anyway, I'll leave you there for just a little while and catch you back here 15 minutes. And we're about to be back. I thought that, little nifty start to the second half by Thiago. Looked like he was going to pass the ball back. Never seen that one before, but he's looking back at his his defenders or whatever, and then he goes and just lets Thiago roam into the midfield to start the second half. Let's see here. I don't think no changes so far. I think Liverpool fans will probably be looking for Diogo Jota to come on if we need a goal. As I said, I would be interested to see Oxlade-Chamberlain come on. I'm saying these things without even knowing if they're on the pitch, and here's Trent cutting inside on his left foot and looking to take a strike. Another misplaced pass by Robbo. Very somewhat of a airheaded performance by Robbo. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but he's just not dialed in as much as he typically is. One more time on the Liverpool subs, we've got Adrian, Kumetio, Chimikas, Nico Williams, Lee Clarkson, Shaqiri, Wijnaldum, Woodburn, and Origi. So no, did I read that right? No Jota, no Ox, no Jota, no Ox. No Keita, of course he's injured. Very interesting. So in terms of midfield, you've got Shaqiri, Woodburn, attacking, midfielders. So that is a shame. Oh, please swing it out left. You've got Mo on the ball. He's got a couple different options, a little bit hesitating, and that allows West Brom to get back into position. Cujo. Back to Robbo. To Sadio. Robbo. Fabinho. Curtis Jones trying to take on his man down the left-hand side and is out for a Liverpool throw-in. I'm just going to fill up my water here. Be right back. It's a fired cross in by Trent, I'm going to assume. And Mane almost on the end of it. Mo gets the ball. It's a goal for Liverpool. Could be offside. It is offside. Unfortunately, that was a beautiful right-footed cross by Salah. Sort of an exaggerated placed cross, curled in. But that was beautiful. And if Sadio just needs to get back a little bit quicker, then we would have had the leading goal. Very unfortunate. I do think that is, you can put Sadio down for being a little bit lazy there and not getting back onside, as he had a diving stabbed finish into not an empty net, but empty side of the net. Really no chance at all for Johnson. And ball played through by Trent to Salah. And that was looking so good, cutting in on his left foot, and he just sort of hesitated. And I don't know if he was off balance or changed his mind and tried to then play Trent back through, but the chance sort of fizzled out with a bit of a whimper. But anyway, we've got 5 minutes into the second half and looking good for Liverpool. Again, we would like to take the lead for the first time in this match sooner rather than later. You've got Sadio on the ball, to Robbo, back to Sadio, and Fabinho, who really has been quite active on the ball inside West Brom's 18 in both halves now, which is interesting because he typically doesn't get into those advanced positions. Now it's going to be a foot race between someone and Nat Phillips, and Phillips was able to do that classic fundamental defending, beat him to the post, and he was able to really just get his body in between, get his body goal side of the attacker. I think it was Pereira. Not really sure if he's known for his speed or not. I would guess not, based on that little moment. But definitely credit to Nat Phillips, who, of course, is not known for his speed, but able to backtrack and really slow that attack down. The West Brom player did get the shot away, and it was deflected, and then able to be recovered by Allison. West Brom scampering ahead on an attack, and Trent, they play a through ball in, and Trent is able to speed in front, win possession, and then curl out to his right back position and play it upfield. Liverpool in possession in West Brom's half now. It's over on the left-hand side between Robbo and Curtis. Thiago over to Trent now. Into Mane, who is central. Plays it out to Mo, who has really been central to everything good in this Liverpool performance. Not to say he's been the only good or great performance, but he definitely has been showing his world-class talent today, and definitely dangerous when on the ball. Firmino's on the left-hand side, out to or into Curtis. Curtis has been a little bit too dribble happy today, and sort of just like trying to beat his man as opposed to trying to just be direct. He's kind of done the like step overs and like shuffle the ball, trying to like round his defenders as opposed to being more direct and taking them on, which can be, a difficult task. But Curtis has sort of just been a little bit slowing us down a bit. He's been playing a bit more like Coutinho-like as opposed to Oxlade-like, if that makes sense. Credit to Mike Dean there for not giving a foul against Nat Phillips. It was one of those where it appeared, the optics of it made it look like a foul, but it was just a little bit of a grappling between Nat and the attacker, who I believe was Pereira. Pereira ended up on the floor, but doesn't make it a foul, and no foul was given. So credit to Dino there. Now Sadio is on the attack, running at the West Brom defense, and finds Salah on the right-hand side. And the ball goes out for a goal kick. Interesting thing there where the West Brom defender was jockeying, was defending Salah, and then the ball went off one of them, and both of them let the ball go out for a corner or a goal kick. And Mo thought it was a corner, but the call goes against him. 10 minutes into the second half. I feel like once the clock strikes 60, that's where, as both a player and a fan, you feel like the last phase of the game is underway. And if you're a team that's in a need of a result like Liverpool are, then maybe you start to feel a bit of pressure. Maybe if you're the coach, you start to feel the pressure. Do I have to make a sub here? And speaking of, you've got Xherdan Shaqiri, who is taking off his training gear, which insinuates a change. I read off the players on the bench. West Brom down the left here plays a cross in, and Reece Williams tries to deal with it and ends up putting it, looping up, and behind for a corner. Got a bit of the hiccups. Not many options necessarily on the Liverpool bench. Guess you have to assume injuries when you have, Ben Woodburn and Lee Clarkson named on the bench ahead of Ox or something like that. And Trent plays Mo through. Mo didn't have much of an angle, but he puts a solid attempt on goal, and it is straight at Sam Johnston. But again, Mo didn't have much of an angle. He was racing on down the left part of goal, and he had to play a cross, but the goalkeeper took him a pretty good position. Anyway, bringing Shaqiri on in this game, I don't know. I hope, he's an X factor. He's a little bit of a wild card. You're not really sure what you can get from him. Obviously, he has made huge impacts as a sub in his Liverpool career, but he's also come on and, not really given much other times as well. And I'm wondering if this is a type of game for him. I feel like this is, we've done well. Sadio played Bravo, who was making a late arriving run into the box, and he just couldn't get it under control. Bravo not having his best game. I would give him probably a 5 out of 10. Sorry, Bravo. But his touches and just his decision making has really gone against Liverpool. Here he gets played in on the left-hand side, and it's blocked for a corner. That is the thing. When you're having a poor game as a Liverpool player, I feel like most fans would probably agree with me. Those little mistakes tend to stick with you. Here comes Curtis off and Xherdan Shaqiri on. We'll see. I'm rooting for you, Xherdan, but I think changing with how he plays, he's certainly going to play more in the 10 role, or even if he ends up playing wide, hasn't been as effective. And I just think that his stature against West Brom is a little bit lacking. Oh, and nice ball in by Robbo. And both of our towering center backs went for it, and none of them got clean contact. There's a head injury here, and number 35 is down holding his head, so play has stopped. But yeah, we shall see with Shaqiri. West Brom throw as we enter the final third of the match. I need to do some adjustment on my clock here. There we go. All right, come on, Liverpool. I'd like to see more of Thiago on the ball. He has had pretty good imprint on this game. Obviously, a really gifted mind as a footballer, and he typically makes really the right decisions. Sometimes he forces it a bit. He tries to play some home run balls at sometimes, and sometimes they come off and they're absolutely brilliant, and other times it's a little bit of a force, but typically he has the right tempo for the game. Interesting. Number 35, the back of his shirt reads OKAY. That's interesting. I don't know if that's a nickname or what. West Brom have won a corner here. Please, God, do not let them score here, because I believe in Liverpool at 1-1. If we should go behind 2-1, that can be a difficult position to come back from at this stage in the game. Ball gets played in, and it is never destined to do much of anything. It's kind of short and even too near of the near post, and it goes over. Liverpool, oh my. Little mistake there by Liverpool backline. Oh my goodness. A little bit of a press by West Brom, but Thiago and Alisson able to pass our way out of it. Robbo plays a nice ball into Mane, who finds Shaqiri centrally, loses the ball, but it falls right to Thiago, plays to Shaqiri. Two sets of cute, fancy feet there at work. And let's see something here. Robbo back to Thiago. Thiago has a bit of space, plays it into, oh, that was beautiful. Plays it into Salah, tries to flick it, doesn't really come off, but it still falls to Firmino into Mane, and Salah into Mane, and Mane sort of gets checked a little bit at the hips. Probably would have been a soft foul, but the defender didn't make any contact with the ball, so but alas, it is not given. Thiago has the ball in the center of the field, just what I was asking for, a bit more Thiago on the ball. He has these darting eyes that, plays the ball against the grain, or, really picks out some space that doesn't seem overly apparent. Klopp, you looking pretty stoked. Here comes the corner in from Robbo, and every single time that Liverpool have a corner, it looks like Nat Phillips or Reece Williams are winning the ball or right there. So they certainly are targets on the many corners that we have had. I wonder how many corners we have had. It might be even close to 10 at this point. Trent getting done up a little bit on the right-hand side, but Shaqiri is able to recover and kind of usher the West Brom player towards the sideline. I think it's a corner coming up here to West Brom. He does win the corner off of Shaq. Play to the back post, and that's got to be a foul on Alisson. Yep, he went to punch it and got hit in the back. Let's see, stats here. Expected goals, 1.4 to Liverpool, 1.08 to West Brom. Total shots 16, chances created 15. These are all Liverpool stats, obviously. Corners 6-6. Pretty surprised by that. And Mo tries to play the ball through on Sadio, and Sadio is offside. Sadio has been offsides a couple times today. I would say that's probably 3 for him. I don't know if he's just getting unlucky. I think with that one it's a little bit unlucky. That one you kind of put on Mo for not passing it a second earlier. But unfortunately, my mind drifts to is Sadio knowingly kind of beginning his Inzaghi phase of really living on the edge with offsides because he needs that advantage. Thiago wins the ball and gets taken out, falls to Mo, who's really leading an attack. Sadio on the left side, he's darting around, loses possession. He gets fouled at the top of the box. Mike Dean plays advantage after we drop the ball back 10 yards, and there is a cross by Trent that evades absolutely everybody, and it's out for a West Brom throw-in. Liverpool really need to keep our cool here and keep our cool mentally. Again, I think we still need tempo-wise to keep the urgency up, but really the belief is what my goodness, Mike Dean, unbelievable. The ball goes back 10 to 15 yards and he says play advantage. You're saying by saying you're playing advantage that was a foul. How do you not give that on the top of the box, which would be a very dangerous position for Trent territory? But you got to keep on playing. You got to create these chances. You've got 23 minutes plus to get a winner to stay within our own destiny for the top 4 race. Trent plays a short corner to Robbo, gets it back and tries to swing it in. Doesn't find a Liverpool head, and it's out for a Liverpool throw-in on the right-hand side. Shaqiri to take the throw. Trent down the right wins another throw-in. Thiago on the ball, nice feet, rolls it to Fabinho, who plays it out to Trent, pings it into Mane, and Mane just doesn't get his trap totally right, and the chance goes away. Thiago plays it into Firmino, who finds Shaq. We're about 45 yards from goal, plays it out to Trent, pings it over to Robbo, nice ball, just over the head of the defender, who finds Robbo in space to Fabinho, inside to Shaq, plays Mo Salah in the box now, and Mo can't evade a challenge, and West Brom have the ball now. Oh boy. Fabinho with a bit of an unnecessary late challenge on Gallagher, who plays it out right to West Brom, and they've won a corner. Gallagher to take the corner kick, 70 minutes in. And it looks like West Brom has scored the second goal of the game. And it's being taken back for offside. There was West Brom players heading it with a bit of room, and it comes down to Bartley. I think they might review this and say that Matt Phillips was the one offside. Bartley was the one that bundled it in, and Bartley was onside. Matt Phillips clearly was off. I'm going to say he impacts Allison for sure. Mo Salah just blows a kiss up high. Thankfully, the offside call stands. I'm not even sure if that went to VAR or not, but maybe the refs just had a word in their ear and said, yeah, Matt Phillips was right in front of Allison and therefore is going to impact decisions that Allison makes. And for sure, that's how it should be called. I do fear for the call going the other way, which I really think is a wrong decision. I'm not just saying that because that's in favor of Liverpool. I've said this many times before that, when the passive offside law is interpreted wrongly, in my view, all the time, that, there's always the line on a free kick. If you set the line at the top of the box and if somebody's off, if one person is off, that's impacting the play, and that has to be chalked off for an offside because, when you're setting a defensive line, you're taking everybody into account. You want to hold that line, and so if one person is off, if you're telling me that doesn't impact the play, then you're lying to yourself. So, anyway, nice to see that that decision was made by Mike Dean. You've got Ainsley Maitland-Niles coming on for West Brom, the Arsenal loanee. We got burned against Newcastle, and my goodness, there was a headed ball after a long ball from a free kick, and it kind of just skirted on through, and there was a West Brom player running onto it, but Allison was able to come out and collect it. Liverpool back in possession, 40 yards from goal. Sadio Mane on the left side of the field, back to Thiago, who plays a beautiful, oh my goodness, he plays a beautiful dinked ball, which looked like it was going to be intercepted by a West Brom player. Made it very awkward for the West Brom player who tries to chest it, but very careful not to handball it, and in doing so, lets it go on through. Then it falls to Trent, who saves it from going out of bounds, plays it back into that most dangerous position at the top of the box. Unfortunately, the Liverpool player wasn't there, and Trent just whipped in another ball, really dangerous ball, again at the top of the box, and Johnson has to come out and punch clear. So Trent just keeps serving those balls in. Thiago finds Firmino, inside the box, and he rips one wide of the near post. Nice and threatening for Liverpool there as we come up on 15 minutes remaining. Really going to need to turn the screws here, Liverpool, and find an answer. Mr. OK is off, and Jake Livermore. How old is this guy? 37? He is on the field, the former Hull man, the former Spurs man as well. He is onto the pitch to try to clog things up, I would imagine. Hopefully we can turn his old body, turn in the wrong way or whatever, take advantage of his lack of athleticism and get something going here. Here's Thiago bringing the ball out of the back, and he plays a long ball to Robbo, who please bring it down, chests it, and plays a ball in, and it's I thought that was an own goal. Played a really dangerous ball into the near post. West Brom player goes to deal with it, sliding, and it hits the back stanchion, which, coming from this view, it looked like he really had to deal with it. That was, I think, Ajayi, and almost looked like he slid the ball back in for an own goal. And here's the corner from Liverpool, and falls to Firmino, but can't really do much with it. Here's Fabinho playing that kind of same ball that Thiago just did to Robbo, but not as precise, and West Brom headed out for a throw-in. We need some good luck, some prayers, whatever you believe in to get Liverpool this final goal that we need. Sadio, sloppy ball over to Mo at the top of the box. It's kind of cleared by West Brom, but Liverpool back in possession to Thiago. Thiago just a little bit out of reach, but maintains possession for Liverpool, out to Firmino. Firmino to Shaq. Shaq to Fabinho, rips from 30 yards out. Like the confidence from Fabinho, but the quality wasn't there, and that was never troubling Johnson. Yeah, he missed by a good maybe 10 yards wide. What do we say? Reds, is it Divock Origi time? 76% possession for Liverpool, 76 minutes into the match. 18 shots, 4 on goal. West Brom in possession. West Brom threw on goal here, and they have a chance. It is given a corner. It looked very much offside. I'm going to say that I think this is that offside leniency crap by VAR. I don't know about that, actually, because there sort of was a ball played ahead. Robson Kanu was way onside. Then the ball wasn't played to him, intended for another West Brom player, but the ball, the headed challenge kind of fizzled out right into the path of Robson Kanu, and so Allison makes a save, and it's out for a corner. Gallagher, Firmino gets the head clear. Salah really pressing hard here for Liverpool. Salah leading from the top here. And a ball played in, cleared by Nat. Well done. Gallagher wins it for West Brom. Little sloppy. Fabinho clear. Falls right to the feet of the exact player you wanted to get under control. Thiago. Liverpool in possession. Shaq. Not many options for Robbo. Shaq drops a little bit deeper to get the ball. Swings it over to Fabinho. Work it over to the other side of the pitch. Mo over to Trent. Here we go. Come on. Fabinho. Touch back to Trent. Trent into Shaq. Swing it the other way for Thiago. Has lots of space. Have a hit, please. Have a hit. He's right on the top of the box, and he takes a hit. Curls it. And I don't think that was probably as close of a shot as it sort of seemed from that angle. But I love the shot. Love the confidence. Beautiful little, and that actually was pretty close, probably a couple yards wide, but he does and then cuts inside to the right, towards the middle of the pitch, and then he curls it, and it goes wide, a couple yards wide, but nice little buying himself some space on the top of the box there, which is definitely an area which the real estate can be hard to come by. Please, Liverpool, just get the job done. Anyway, anyhow, I don't care if it's the 94th minute with 3 minutes of stoppage time. Even if it causes the heart rate to go up, just get the job done. Here we go. Come on, Liverpool on the front foot. Mane's on the ball. He plays it whipped across to Thiago. Play it to Shaqiri. Shaqiri, have it. Ooh. We wanted Shaqiri to have a hit there, but he probably had too many players in front of him. Firmino to Robbo, back to Firmino. Plays Firmino through, keeps it in, and it is played away by West Brom. West Brom clear it, and it's going to be a Liverpool throw-in. Reese is going to get us back started and reloaded. And number 29 is coming onto the pitch for Robson Cunningham. This segment brought to you by Little Debbie Swiss Rolls. Ten minutes left. Substitution is complete. Getting a text here from Liverpool Lee saying, "This is absolutely pathetic. You go to Old Trafford and spank them. You struggle against West effing Brom." Understand the frustration, Lee, but this game is not over yet, and Robbo plays a dangerous ball in. Oh, Shaqiri. Short ball played over to Shaqiri. And, beautiful defending by Reese Williams. He looked like he was coming off second best there. Gets his body right in the way. Crucial challenge there. Not necessarily because of the danger, but because of the time saved. We've got precious minutes left on the clock, and if West Brom were to win that throw-in or whatever possession, and here comes Trent, cuts inside. Oh, when he plays it over. Oh, Trent carved up such a nice little patch of grass there inside the West Brom. Boom, cut inside. Oh, and he just plays it over. That's the second time today where he takes a shot with his left foot. Just go through the ball, get your shoulders over it, and just whack it. I know it's not your strongest foot, but there's just this compensation thing that happens when you play with your weaker foot, and he really got under that one. Wijnaldum comes on for Reese Williams. So not sure what's going to happen there. I don't know if Fabinho probably drops back. Yep. And Wijnaldum comes on. I'm pretty surprised not to see Divock Origi. Klopp has always been really kept his faith in Origi, probably further along than Liverpool fans have done. We really haven't seen Divock Origi in the past couple of months. I don't know if that's he hasn't really been shining in training. His confidence is low, or if Klopp just didn't find it the right moment to bring him on. But of all games, this is we need a goal out of nowhere type of thing, and Divock Origi is your man for that. Here's Sadio. There's a break for Liverpool. A little bit of a non-break now. We've got Bobby. Bobby gets taken down, sort of, loses possession, but West Brom give it right back to us to Gini. Here's Thiago. Mo with a chip ball into Gini, and it's headed away by West Brom. And there's a foul, thank you, Mike Dean, given on Nat Phillips. Otherwise, it was going to be West Brom, and who knows who would have been back. I think he was given a bit of a nudge in that challenge. We get it going very quickly. Thiago swings it over to Andy Robbo, changes the point of attack. Robbo goes centrally, finds Shaqiri. Thiago swings it over to Sadio. Sadio brings it down. Does a little dangle, plays it to Shaq. Back to Robbo. Robbo plays a ball in, and that's going to go out for a corner. 5 minutes of stoppage time left. 5 minutes of regulation left. Plus stoppage. Come on, here we go. Robbo plays it in. No Liverpool player gets close to it. It's Fabinho. Touches it out to Robbo again with a little play. Shaq tries to whip one in, but it's cleared first time by West Brom. Fabinho finds the checking run of Gini. Gini carries the ball up the pitch, drops it back to Shaq. Finds Bobby, who comes deep. Thiago, just hit one. Yo! Beautiful shot on goal by Thiago. And it's going to be a Liverpool corner. That was a nice shot. It was more towards the near post. Looked great as he hit it. One touch, bang. And there was a bit of a deflection as well, which I think deflected a little bit even nearer the near post, making the save even more difficult for Sam Johnson. Here's Trent to swing the ball in. Have it. Oh. There seemed to be little pockets of space there for Liverpool to get that beautiful finish in on there, but nobody could get the touch to it. Oh boy, Shaq with a terrible ball out wide to the right as he's falling down, and it's a West Brom throw. They can choose some seconds off the clock. We've got to find this winning goal. Come on, Liverpool. Throw in to Liverpool, back in possession. Robbo's going to find Fabinho back, and he's going to swing it around to Nat. Nat brings the ball up the pitch, 87 minutes, 47 seconds. And Nat plays a center back ball out for a goal kick. Terrible look there. Time is running out for the Reds. Looks like we're going to pass up the chance to maintain our grip on the Champions League places. Going to try and make some sense of the table. So with this, we would be 3 points behind Chelsea. So we would need a Leicester victory over Chelsea. Trent plays it in. It goes a little bit over the shoulder of Mane, the backmost player, but Mane goes and retrieves it from the left-hand side. 89 minutes, Thiago on the ball, plays it to Shaq, step up, and he's going to, when he looks for the incisive ball right through the middle to Gini. Looked like he was going to take that shot. Beautiful tackle by Thiago. All ball, gets it, plays it into Robbo, and Gini! Almost. Top right corner, hits the back stanchion on a curl. That was a majestic tackle by Thiago. Really nice ball in by Robbo. Nice cushion by Mo. Lays it right back to Gini. It looks like it's raining pretty hard there. Couldn't tell that from the zoomed out angle. But we have 13 seconds left in regulation. Hopefully at least 3 minutes of stoppage time. Not even sure if we'll get that. Robbo. Nat volleys it off his own forehead and it somehow finds its way to Robbo. Now Sadio, Shaq. We've got 4 minutes of stoppage time. Bobby, play it, down the right side for Tiago in the middle. Plays it to Genie. Genie, little flip-flap for some space. Robbo looks like he's going to serve it. Plays it back to Genie, who takes a rip. And it gets deflected. Kind of a little lucky there because that did not look like it was going to be on target. Fabinho in possession. Just scoops it over to the right side to Nat. Finds Shaq. Bobby comes deep to get the ball to Tiago. Fabinho running at the defense. Sadio has arms all over him in the box. And here's going to be a corner to Liverpool. My goodness. Come on, everybody forward. Get Allison forward. That's not going to happen. Robbo to serve it in. And Shaqiri. Oh. Why not? Oh, plays it to Wijnaldum. To Tiago, who plays a nice grass cutter, but it is blocked. Trent with the ball. Now going to play his curled ball towards the back post. And that's just too much out of reach for Mane, who heads it over, out off balance. Hopefully we can get this ball back in play pretty quickly. Not a bad finish by Tiago. Had it made its way through, I think you kind of wouldn't have needed the goalkeeper to be unsighted by that in order to find the back of the net. You didn't have the most pace on it. You probably would have had that covered. Genie, aerial duel with Gallagher. And Liverpool back in possession now. Robbo scampering forward in typical fashion. Finds Firmino on the sideline. Dangle fest down the left-hand side. Scoops it back middle to Trent, who tries to just touch it a little bit. It was a difficult bounce for Trent to kind of play it through to Salah, who was chasing it down, but not before Johnston was able to get there. Really frustrating day here for Liverpool. I don't think a bad performance. I think Liverpool fans will probably disagree with me. I think this is a day where, with better luck, we scored, 3, which then turns into 4 goals. I think individually performed pretty well. Just, West Brom have been set up pretty well. Just disappointing to not be able to get this win if that's how it goes. Robbo has the ball, 30 seconds left, tries to bang it forward to Trent. West Brom intercepted. Tiago now on the ball. He plays centrally to Shaq. Shaq over to Robbo. 12 seconds left. Mane down the left-hand side, takes his man on. Curl plays it in, and it is out for a corner. Will Allison come forward now? We desperately need this goal, and there's just about no time left. Come on. Allison is coming forward. Here we go. Rain is really coming down here. Here's Trent to whip it in. And it's Allison! Allison scores! Oh my God! Oh my God! Allison! Oh! Woo! Let's go! Unbelievable! Allison Becker, baby! When are you ever going to see that? Unbelievable. Shut it down, folks. That is unreal. Allison Becker with the game-winning goal. 12 seconds past. What did I say? I will take any winner, even if it's 4 minutes with 3 minutes. Oh my goodness. Woo! Allison, unbelievable for the new father of 3. Unbelievable. He points to the crowd. How about that for the first goal of his Liverpool career? You can't write this crap. Look at this. Allison, what a beautiful header into the side netting. Woo! Oh my goodness. Allison, whoo, unreal. Liverpool get the win right there at the death. Unbelievable. Now tell me that Liverpool won't finish in the top 4. Can you believe this? Unbelievable. Klopp looks like I don't even know what he looks surprised. How can you write this stuff? Only Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool can get a win quite like this. Unbelievable. Woo! Oh man. Did I call that? I don't know. I said bring Allison forward and play is back underway. There really shouldn't be any time left here, and there it is. The final whistle goes. Allison Becker with the winner. I could never predict saying those words. Look at this. Liverpool in 5th place, 63 points. So, yep. So Chelsea and Leicester play on Tuesday. Kind of doesn't matter what happens there. Oh my goodness. Allison Becker, the game-winning header. Unreal. Love this guy. I almost wore Allison's jersey. If I wasn't going to wear this today, I was going to wear Allison's jersey. That would have been quite the omen. But that is it. I'm going to spend the rest of the day on cloud 9. Beautiful performance. Beautiful winner. Allison Becker, ladies and gentlemen.